I could never see myself as a pilot or an engineer or a doctor. I remember if people had identified that you're coming from Uganda, you could easily be, killed in the streets.
Wow.
If I spend 2 days without my wife touching me, then I know something is not right.
Wow. Hello and welcome to the third season of With Nyasha Michelle, and I am so shocked, very excited, shocked in a good way because you're still here and we're still here, and more inspiring guests are coming to spend some time with me. Today's guest, listen, I'm starting it off with a bang, and I always give you guys somebody good, somebody inspiring, and someone who's gonna drop some gems. I'm gonna stop talking now and introduce Bebe Cool.
Yeah, what's up?
How are you?
I'm cool. How are you?
I'm cool too. Today I am as cool as a watermelon. Thank you so much for joining me. You've come all the way to London from Uganda. I have so much that I want to talk to you about, but I'm going to start right at the beginning, which is a question I love to ask all of my guests.
Yeah.
What is one defining moment that set you on the path that you're on today?
If I may derive, the truth is, I think it was just a build-up in me. It just happened. Should I put it for talent? Should I put it for because I couldn't see myself in any other job.
Really?
Rather this, from childhood.
Okay, then let's go back in time. You said you are, just before we started recording, you said you're from like the central part of Uganda.
Yeah.
For those of us like me who don't know Uganda, what's that area called?
Buganda. Kampala.
Okay, Kampala. Okay. You're in Uganda, right?
Yes.
In Kampala.
Yeah.
And you are like how old? 10, 8? When did you realize this is my thing?
I think I was about 12.
Okay.
Because I remember performing. I was forced to lead a whole primary school.
Wow.
And I think I was in my primary 4. But I led the whole primary school, students between primary 1 and primary 7. And a primary 4 student becomes the head of the whole drama season in the National Theatre that we usually used to go.
Wow.
And from that day, I could never see myself as a pilot or an engineer or a doctor, but rather this.
So, okay, I'm literally just like, you're 12 years old.
Yep.
You're in school.
Yep.
And Uganda, or where you're from, right, there is an investment in drama and theatre.
Yep.
And you are the head.
Yep.
How did that come about?
I mean, when we were given roles to, take part in the activity, I think the teachers were like, Sally, be at the front of this. You're the one going to do, lead everybody.
And do you think that was because your personality was like really
personality,
out there? What was
confidence, execution of what I was doing?
Yeah.
It was all out of me, doing things happily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It wasn't. I remember very well. I was always happy to do what I was told.
So you never felt shy?
No.
Listen, I have trauma, okay? I think some people probably have this. Like, I literally have a memory of, I think it was my 8th birthday, and I have a big family. They're loving, I don't necessarily hold this against them. But I remember my birthday, and I was having so much fun, and my family was like, where's the birthday girl? Birthday girl must come and stand in front and, perform for us. And I swear to you, I literally froze. I wanted the whole ground to swallow me up. But for you...
To me, it was an opportunity because I used to follow my mom. I'm born Muslim, but she's Catholic. She's Protestant. So she used to go to church. So I used to just sit back and watch her. She's part of the church choir. And then that's where voices are coming from. And you're listening to such beautiful music. And I'm looking at my mom and I'm saying, is that my mother? So when my turn came in school, I could just imagine myself. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm doing what my mom does and I'm doing it. So people are saying I'm good at what I'm doing.
So it was great motivation for you.
Exactly.
How did your mother feel? Did your mother ever see you perform?
Yes, yes.
How did she feel?
Of course, happy because, they were the guests that had to come and, sit.
Yeah.
And then if you identify where your mom is seated or your dad, then you're going to perform with all the energy and stuff like that. So she definitely was always on my side, supportive. And she was a single mother. I grew up with a single mother.
Yeah.
And I'm the last born.
Whoa. So, we know moms are such an incredible part of
Very true.
Part of our lives.
Yep.
I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but don't worry, we're gonna go back to you. But how would you think your mom, if she's still with you, how does she feel? Or how would you think your mom feels like with the success and what you've achieved?
Well, I think she's the most proud person because what I did in Uganda or what I'm still doing had not been done before. I mean, in the music industry in Uganda, there was a different kind of genre or era. When I started doing music, I remember she told me, as long as if you're going to pursue music, it's okay. I will support you. I will allow you to do that as long as you're not joining groups and drugs.
Wow.
Remember, I was in a day school at that time. Now that's my secondary. Now she's like, look, I left your father because he was coming back late at night and I couldn't wake up to open the door for him. Now you're choosing on a career that will make you come back late. What makes you think that I will open the door for you? I'm going to give you a condition. As long as you're not grouping and you're not dragging.
What does she mean by grouping?
Because in Uganda at that time, groups were the problem for young people.
Okay.
And when you involved yourself in those village groups, you understand if I say groups, cliques, and of course every era has that. But if you have the right group of people, it's okay. But most of the time, young people will fall into, very aggressive and wrong directed groups. So she asked me clearly, she spoke with me, we agreed. I'm like, Mom, I won't do no drugs, I won't do no smoking, I will not be with rowdy people. All I want is you to believe in me and support me morally because I could not see myself doing anything else but rather music. And she's like, okay, cool, I'll see. So I started very early coming back late at home. I was so young. But she could open 10, 11, because when I'm done with school, then I go to do bar music in different bars, promoting different, brands of beers and stuff like that because they had promotions in different places. But look at a young guy who goes in shorts and in the evening, I put on a T-shirt for that brand and then I stay in my shorts and then start singing around different bars.
So how old were you going and performing in these bars?
That should have been around between my 14 to 18, 19.
Wow.
Yeah, because when I made 20, I left Uganda and headed to Nairobi.
And I want us to talk about that. I love how you just slide easily into conversations and topics that I want to cover. What was it like moving it from Uganda to Nairobi?
It was scary. I was so young, but I was so hungry for success. And Uganda, based on the East African landscape, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Kenya was ahead musically. That's where the studios were. That's where the technology had moved a bit, farther than the rest. That's where, exposure was a bit because it was okay to wear dreadlocks in Kenya. In
It
Uganda,
wasn't in
it
Uganda?
wasn't. I mean, if you put on dreadlocks, you were a spoiled child.
Eesh.
It was too formal in Uganda, and I come from a very formal family.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a politician, a minister. My mother, my siblings were educated. I'm the last born, the last person they expect to, wake up in the morning and say you're putting on dreadlocks. And like, yeah, mom, what's happening? But she's like, I made a deal with my son and he's, pushing on well. So yes, I went to Nairobi and it wasn't easy. It was a very tough time politically for Kenya, Kenyans and Ugandans.
Mm-hmm.
I remember if people had identified that you're coming from Uganda, you could easily be, killed in the streets in Nairobi. But I was so young, I maneuvered my way through and stayed in Nairobi, Kenya for over about 4 to 5 years.
And why was there that, I guess, like xenophobic hate against
Exactly.
each
It
other?
was just like you see things happening in South Africa today. That's what was there at a low scale because most of the Ugandans were coming in as, business people, who come to buy, import stuff. So they were always easy targets for thugs.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you could identify, and it's easy, it was always easy to identify that you're not Kenyan because you couldn't speak Swahili. So if people are trying to communicate to you and you can't speak Swahili,
they know. Can you speak Swahili now?
Yeah, a bit.
A bit. Okay, tell me what you can say.
Habari mzuri, nataka nini. I can speak some good, some good Swahili.
Okay, so you were in Kenya from like about 16 to like 19, did you say?
Yeah.
Then what happened afterwards?
I was actually there between my 17 and 22. And then, of course, I gained some nice fame. And for Uganda, it was always important that, if artists, if people knew, if Ugandans knew they had an artist in another country, they really took them of high, importance. And, they talked about it. And so when I got to that level where now they believe that there's a Ugandan in Nairobi called Bebe Cool. So now all I had to do was come back with some music and start doing the music from home. So I returned home. And that's where now my real, personal life began, because on my return, then I met a beautiful woman who is now my wife. That's about 23 years together.
Congrats.
So it's then music just started happening, changing the scene, the what is happening in the industry, introducing serious showbiz, because in Uganda at that time we didn't have serious showbiz. He was just doing a song and you could find somebody dressed like, they're going to office, but they tell you that's a musician. So people like us came back now with dreadlocks, jeans, halfway pants and stuff like that. And we brought in the fights, we brought in, camps. And then the country started splitting into East Coast, West Coast stuff. And that's how we just blew ahead of Kenya, because the whole show business was happening in Uganda.
Okay, so take me back. Like, I really actually want to envision what the scene was like. Firstly, roughly what years are we talking about when you then really began doing the music when you went back?
When I went back to Uganda, that I should have been about 24, 25. Because, yes, I think 24, 25, because that's when I met my wife. I met my wife like a month or two after my return.
I love that's a pivotal moment that you use to reference other things when you met your wife. I love that.
It's the only thing. I'm not good at years, numbers, so I use specific events to.
Okay, so maybe we're looking at like early 2000s then.
Yes.
Okay, take me and the audience back to the Ugandan music scene in early 2000s. You're going to perform at a venue. What's it like? What's the vibe like? What are people like?
Ugandan music industry was full of Lingala. Lingala is Congolese music, music from, a very strong, originality of, and it was big everywhere else. So it was full of Congolese music and Jamaican music, dancehall, reggae, dancehall. And we used to have so many, big stars come in the country, the likes of Buju Banton, Shaggy, Willa Longomba, all those top stars.
Yeah.
I remember my last biggest gig that I performed before I left for Nairobi was I performed with Red Rat and Goofy from Jamaica in Kampala. They're the ones who gave me the CD that had the instrumentals, on which instrumentals I went to Nairobi to pursue my career. So when I returned, we now creating this showbiz created attention for the artists, local artists, towards the people, because the people had rejected the local artists. So it brought that, we created a conversation. And then also the media scene was changing at that time. They were putting in entertainment segments, which were not there because people were talking. So the media decided to now introduce entertainment pages in newspapers, on TV, radio. Yeah, so and so was Bebe Cool was fighting. Yeah, Bebe Cool was doing this, that kind of thing. So it wasn't just the music alone. Now media came in. Now when media came in, it became easy now for people to pay attention to the local artists and then the local music, and then from there we started to push out the Lingala and dancehall until when about 4, 5 years, 6 years after that. That's when we achieved now a stand of our own music in Uganda.
Okay, so what is Ugandan music called then? Or this style of music that you...
Yeah, we just came up with a word. It's not anything in specific. Uganda is, we got so many tribes, over 40 tribes, over 40 languages, but the dominating language or dominating, tribe in the center. I won't say dominant in a bad way, but I'll say in the city center where the capital is Baganda, where I come from.
Okay.
So we started off a sound that is called Chidandali. Chidandali. Because we derived a style closer to dancehall music. Yeah, because we're dancehall oriented. We were influenced too much by Jamaica and Ethiopia.
Yeah. So and Ethiopia as well.
Yeah, because
it's exciting.
Yeah, that's the origin of reggae music.
Let's talk about that, because I was actually going to say you merge quite a lot of these different sounds: Afro house, reggae, dancehall, etc. So how do you stay true to your roots of, you said Bagari? Chidandari. Yes. To your sound, to your language, to your identity. And also, whilst you're just telling me about that, tell me about Ethiopia being the origin of, is it reggae music?
Yeah, that's where, true Rasta comes from. And, Rasta is reggae. And well, how do I stay true or close or keep my sound? Well, as times have gone to change, it's becoming a bit tricky to say that you just want to keep your sound just because you want to keep the sound.
Yeah.
The truth is, it's expensive to just keep a sound if you're not, getting paid.
Very true.
Yes, we can keep it. We can keep it in the libraries. We can keep it in the museums. But as the world has moved, everything is economical. So we have, I am advocate, because this is, Uganda was a third world country. This is a country that is still fighting its economic war, to become a better country economically. So with this kind of economic position, you're looking at doing things that can put money in the pockets of the people.
Yeah.
And then here you go saying that there's the cultural stroke entertainment industry, there's the sports, okay? And these are the sectors that you're looking at, that can employ young people, educated or uneducated, right? Because it's the most dangerous thing is to have uneducated people unemployed. So now musically, if there's a genre that is selling,
that is working,
then the advice is move on to that, because your issue is not just to keep your style as a Muganda, but rather to have money in your pocket, be able to take care of yourself, be able to take care of your family, be able to, to economically, change as a person.
Yeah.
So I have not been too much on the side of just keeping my kidandari. No. I've actually been advocating for all artists to join. For example, right now it's all Afrobeat, Afrotech, Afropop. During that time there was reggae, dancehall. People could pay for the concerts. People could buy the music. Radios could play it because that was what was trending. So now what is trending? Afrobeats, Afrotech, Afro house. Go move, because it's all financial.
Okay. So would you ever move to Amapiano then?
Yes, I'm moving straight away. My next EP.
Okay, well, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here.
My EP, man, Amapiano, straight up.
We're moving into Amapiano. Okay, so what about the music lover, right? Who's watching right now or listening, and they are also a massive fan of you, or even if they're a new fan, and they're like, wait, but damn, man, when I want to listen to you, I want to listen to the sounds from different spaces. I want to listen to the authentic Ugandan music. I want to get to know more of you and your culture. Then what would you say to that person?
What I would say is, for the last 25 to 28 years, I've been doing the same kind of music. So you still have my catalog out there, beautiful music. For example, for the new fans that are watching, you have like over 300 to 400 songs that you can listen to from Bebe Cool, and you're like, wow, is this an African sound?
Jeez.
Is it? But only because I cannot stay limited to just 50 million people in Uganda.
Yeah,
you get it. I gotta go 300 million. I gotta go 1 billion. That today the world has moved. Because of social media, you can access billions of people. All you need to do is do the right thing, and then you're out there. So it's really as simple as a numbers thing to me.
Okay, so when it comes to numbers, or the one that you just feel close to your heart, in fact, you choose, new and old fans watching, listening, they say to you, all right, which album should I listen to? Or if you want, which song should I listen to right now? Which one would you recommend to them? And is it about the numbers, or is it about, like I did this and there was the passion in it, there was the sweat, there was the heritage? Not to say that they cannot coexist.
Yes.
Tell me.
Now, I've got, I would recommend 2 songs that are so important. For example, first I'll recommend my new album, Break the Chains.
Yeah.
And on Break the Chains there's a song called, there are 2 songs called, one is called Hidden Agendas. Break the Chains has Hidden Agendas, and it has a song called Home. Now, surely I wouldn't even ask anybody to listen to just 2 songs. I would say sit down and listen to that album.
Okay.
Because now this album, Break the Chains, there's no song on the album called Break the Chains. But the title of the reason for doing the album, Break the Chains, is to exactly break the thinking that people have had for a very long time, most especially back home. I'm telling them, guys, we cannot reject a genre that is making it worldwide. We need to be represented as Uganda on that same table. So we need to break that thought of thinking that, it is all about keeping our culture. Yeah, it's okay to keep the culture, but it's also okay to be on the table of men. Why should we just leave only Nigeria to enjoy? And they're enjoying, and they're just watching us down there saying, you'll be there.
Wow.
So it's okay. And they're not refusing, but they're saying, you outcompete us, and let's do, just like it used to be. Uganda was way ahead of Nigeria before, during the dancehall times.
Really?
Yes, there's no way these guys were getting closer. I mean, I was doing music with the likes of D'banj, Two-Face. I remember I came to London here when I was nominated with Two-Face in the same category in the Mobo Awards.
Wow.
And those are years back.
Yeah.
So, surely speaking, if you listen to the Break the Chains album today, you find that my new song called Hidden Agendas touches everybody. I mean, you got friends, you got family, you got people around you, but everyone's got a hidden agenda on you.
Wow.
Because you're just about to be surprised when things happen to you and you're like, is that my sister? Is this my brother? Is this my mom? You know, did you just wish me bad before, or did things just go wrong? Is this my best friend? How could you do this to me? So in general, they'll always have people will always have hidden agendas. And then when we talk about home, it's so important for people to know the importance of what you describe as home.
Okay.
Most people think having a house, and chairs in there and people running around, it is a home. Kids and a woman or a wife or a husband, and that's a home. No, home is a person.
Wow.
Home is a person.
I agree with that.
Home is that person that you can call when you're sad, when you're happy, you call them. When things go right or wrong, that person you believe you must call, and that's usually automatic. It just happens, and you call. That's a person you trust. That's a person called home.
So who's Bebe Cool's home?
For now, my wife.
For now?
Yes.
What do you mean by for now?
Of course, before my wife, it was my mother.
Okay.
Yeah. But now, since we ever met, we're good friends. We're best friends.
That's very important.
We have had arguments. We've had issues here and there, just like a married couple.
Yeah.
But we are best friends because we talk. We don't allow anything to go past 12 hours. No, we talk it out. We sort it there. It's painful, it's this, but we sort it there. So every time anything happens or she feels I'm challenged or I'm making mistakes and decisions on this, she will come to me and I'll go a big head and things, but then it ends there.
Seriously, who came in your marriage or in your relationship, who came with this idea that in this marriage, in this partnership, we are not going to go past 12 hours without talking about something when we've had a conflict, and we are going to address it no matter how difficult it is?
I did, and because I felt, because of the stardom status that I had, I didn't want my wife to feel like she's oppressed by my status. So I always told her, if you have anything to discuss or if you feel anything funny, please talk it out. Of course, it wasn't easy. Ladies will sometimes keep things away. You cannot. You be there and you're like, you've done a mistake somewhere, but she's not saying anything. And until time comes when she will just go, I need to talk to you.
And something is
and then there's no way. If it was good, she would have told me there and then, hey, hi, thank you for making that money. But if a lady comes to you and says, hi, I need to talk to you, then that's it. I actually only have one problem with my wife in a very long time. Nowadays, she doesn't do that.
Okay.
But she used to do that and it would take my whole heart out.
Oh.
I'm like, damn, what have I done now? I just wish you didn't tell me and you just tell me, sit. Did you just do this and this? It's better that way than telling me, Moses, when you come back, I need to talk to you.
Eesh.
Oh, damn. I can't proceed. I just have to drive back.
Yeah, you're like, no, you need to tell me now. I'm
True.
like that. I'm like that. I'm like, no, you need to tell me now.
Yeah.
However, I would have to say that I'm kind of like your wife sometimes.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to kill the whole day for the guy. You're just going to punish them. You're making them think too much. And then when they think too much, they're trying to create defense at any position. When yet you and with us men, when you're scared, you try to build defense that doesn't even that is unnecessary.
That's true.
Because you want to get out of that situation. And then later on when she comes and she says, oh, I found out you did this and this, then you're like, oh, maybe. And most times it is, I don't know why things are like that when it comes to love, most especially in marriages. But 70% women will be wrong.
No way.
Yeah, they will be wrong.
Okay, explain that to me.
Yeah, because if you got me do something, then it's better off when you confront me at that time.
So if it's a suspicion, then it's
very
wrong.
wrong for you to suspect.
But what if there are actions that have been, little things, your actions have changed, the way that you move has changed, and it's building suspicion.
I do leave that in the 30%. That's why addressing it is very important. Like,
okay,
if I spend 2 days without my wife touching me, then I know something is not right.
Wow.
So either if she's not sick, and even if she was sick, or if I hear the tone changing, then I know something is not right. I address it there and then.
Wow.
And then, why are you talking to me like that? That's not you. And I haven't seen you smile in the last 12 hours. What's happening? I know you when you do that. Something is boiling up. We need to talk. So I start that war there and then, so that it just comes out and things fall over there. We're done. And then if I move out 1 hour, hey, honey, do you want to join me for a drink or two? And then it's done.
This is very interesting. I'm looking at it like relationship/marriage nuggets, but also you're coming from an even more unique perspective because you're a star.
Yeah, that's
a married star.
Yeah,
who, by the sounds of it, value loyalty to your partner.
Yes, and to be a celebrity, to get to fall in love or to marry a celebrity is a very heavy luggage anybody can carry.
It's a lot of responsibility.
A lot. Because it all works with your emotions. It's all your brain 24/7. I mean, you just want to be there with that person all the time. You're just going to have to see, like, I'm a guy. And then I'm leaving home with, taking care of myself.
Yeah.
Perfumes, nice jeans and stuff. I'm the star. I've got a hit song or a hitting album. But she's got to stay home and take care of the kids. And then you're gone 1 week. You're talking on the phone. This concert was so nice. Oh, yeah, the ladies are there, this and that. And so how much can a lady take? So for me, I solved it in different ways.
Yeah.
I first of all prioritize, talking about her in her absence, appreciating her. And coming from a background of a single mother, I respect women so much. So I applaud her name, her input, because if it's not for her, then I believe life does not rotate around just music or career. Life is everything that surrounds a human being in the process of growth. Process of growth has your childhood and then your times when you have to get a partner, get children, and then grow old.
Yeah.
So your career really matters a lot before you get a partner. But when you get a partner, now family comes in. I'm looking at myself, what if I had a record deal? And you know what comes with record companies and their deals.
Tell us.
You can't get married. You can't date in the next 5 years.
I mean, we've seen reports of
you get it.
A star. She's been told that she can't get married. I don't know how true that is, but I've read that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if it was true, if I'm the guy with the money to invest in you, ain't no way you're gonna get pregnant when I've just started putting in $10-15 million.
Yes.
How are you going to bring back the money? Because it's a lot of responsibility needed for an individual to be pregnant for 9 months and take care of a baby for an extra year. Those are 2 years. Now, if I'm a record company, there's going to be another record company then to push in that space because you're not available.
What about the argument of the autonomy of women's bodies? It should always be them. Why is it that a woman should be told, okay, you want to do a particular career and you want to be successful in it. Therefore, you can't get a husband, you can't get a boyfriend, you can't get no partner, because you can't get pregnant. Because it's unfortunate that it's you who gets pregnant and it comes at a heavy weight. I mean, it's two people. It's two people in bed. Exactly. But one is going to get
a tummy, which is not going to allow them to jump around, to perform every second. It's obvious. It's the physicality.
Aish.
While the guys, once you drop it in, you're free to go and,
That's it.
So, but if you both are to appear in front of a record company, surely speaking, you need to be working gym, you need to be looking nice, you need to be doing this. Of course, the other party that is pregnant won't be able to achieve that. You know what it takes.
Yeah.
And that's a 2-year deal with a child. Now, vis-a-vis competing with another company that is pushing a very young girl who's not going to be pregnant, who's not going to be dating, because you know how dangerous dating can be. Now, you have a boyfriend, you're on stage, you're a cute female artist, and guys are screaming, hell, they love you, and your promoter is expecting you to react beautifully to these guys because he wants to sell you. And then you cannot, the way you're reacting is protecting yourself so that your boyfriend does not fight. Emotion into business. So definitely that to me became an issue of contemplating.
Yeah.
Must I fund myself musically? Yes, I had to take that route. But I took it because it was very important for me to make a decision to make a family.
Okay.
There's no decision in my life that I've ever made like getting children when I'm young, when my wife is young. Because then we had the energy to take care of our kids. We've got 6 kids.
You got 6 kids?
6 kids.
Your goals for me, man.
I got 6 kids, 5 with my wife.
Yeah.
Yes, and if our last born is 7 years old, and now my wife is moving with me anyhow, anywhere, and you can think that she's my daughter.
I mean, she looks good. By the way, guys, she is on the other side of the studio. When he said, "Oh, I'm going to leave my wife there," I was like, "Oh, that's his wife." Okay. you definitely won at the game. I hope you are enjoying this episode of With Nyasha Michelle, but I did have to interrupt you a little bit to remind you, are you subscribed? I know you're enjoying the content, so make sure that you subscribe, but also don't forget to like, share, and comment. Put something in the comments there. What's your favorite bits? What's the bits that you don't like? Who do you want to see me talk to next? All right, you can go back now.
So, and again, I speak this on the side of record companies when it comes to artists.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem that all artists are facing, those who have been under record deals, is that contract. It's a problem. It's acceptable here to sign. But that's what frustrates the artists, and deals are going down and songs can't be made because the actual thing is in the artist saying, I need a guy. The body is demanding, okay? She's seeing other men, other girls doing relationships.
Yeah.
She's now seeing other friends having children.
Yeah.
She has the money, but she can't have the kids. So it is going to affect her emotional intelligence, her position as an artist. She will be there as a body, but mentally, no. And then by the time most of those female artists are done, they can only have 1 kid, and most likely that's if the kid does not get health implications because of age.
Because she would have ended up having to have the child so late.
That's why they end up doing a lot of drugs during that period to forego that situation. I mean, everybody would like to make a family when they have the best deal in their life. I think companies need to come 50-50.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, what is the solution around this?
50-50. I think you need to know that, yes, we as artists, we want to get the opportunity. I mean, if you don't want, company will move to the next person. But still the companies will keep getting the same problem with the artists. So I think they need to humanize the contracts a bit. They need to look at the ages. When do you get the artist? When do you allow them to become a bit human? Can you control? If you're getting into a contract, then have certain things, lines that can be. You can as well have that contract with the artist, but include the boyfriend or stroke husband, plan the marriage, plan when they can have the child. Keep your artists, in a family line, because that's what they need.
I think that's also very healthy.
Yeah, exactly, mentally.
But also it can be complicated.
Yes,
because you as the label might want this, they also might want this, and then also they might be breakups, so they might be like, oh, we don't know when we're going to get married. How do you then navigate? Do you think that labels would be like, that's giving them too much autonomy? As far as I'm concerned, I want you as an artist. It's not about now family planning and all that stuff.
Yeah, I understand that, but you see the trouble you get when you're losing an artist after investing a lot of money. Which side would you choose?
Okay,
it's your money. When you sign an artist, I believe they can be part of your record company for good. Until when you're like, you know what, you don't need to sing, but hey, you're still family. You even made family with us. Huh? That's okay. How did I control myself? I had plans. I said, okay, if we can record 3 albums, these 3 albums will come out in 6 years. So in 6 years, if I can have 1 child, okay, plan it. Be pregnant in a certain period whereby after 6 months you can only perform a certain type of events, and then you can only move so far. After 8 months you can't do, and then give me another 6 months. It's winter, no major performances, and then stuff like that is doable.
What about for you as a man? What have been, because the challenges we've just spoken about for women, female artists, are so significant.
Yep.
What are the challenges for male artists?
Challenges for male artists are just excitement and, domination in the mindset of a male artist. Male artists will always want to, once they step somewhere, they want to step ahead every other time. Mm-hmm. And the record company has you in one place.
Okay.
The contractual obligation. Mm-hmm. Maybe you feel you're so big in Africa and now you want to go global, but the record company has you cannot do stuff with somebody beyond this, continent or something. Yeah. But there's that fire in male artists where I know I'm better than that guy. I know
that
I can
ego
make
as well.
The ego will always fly high. So that's the only problem with male artists. Otherwise, these are the issues, the drugs issues. I haven't had contracts with drug issues, but if I was to own a record company, mm-hmm. that's number 1.
No drugs.
No drugs.
Wow.
Because it's bad for you as an artist. It will just kill off the contract anyway.
What of the ones that say, listen, when I'm on my thing, I get the inspiration. What you gonna do? What you gonna say about that?
No, surely speaking, I will show them different. Like I'll bring up 100 artists and I'll ask him to name for me those who are successful fully. Out of 100, we'd only maybe have the likes of Snoop and a few. The rest, the end of the day, mm-hmm. the careers meant nothing.
Wow.
And when I talk about drugs, I'm not talking about just basic weed. No, I'm talking about, high-end stuff that, has ended up killing people. You hear so-and-so passed away. In the bathroom, so-and-so did this, or did, or stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. And that is happening more on the male side. Yes.
So, mental health.
Exactly, that's where it heads.
Yeah, mental health. What's it like for you as a male artist? What have you seen in the musical industry, especially African music industry, when it comes to mental health, taking care of artists' mental health?
I must say I'm so lucky.
Yeah?
Yeah. Every decision I made impacted on my mental health.
Okay.
As an artist, you need to have somebody to talk to every day.
Wow.
Somebody you trust.
Mm-hmm.
You need to feel like you're working for somebody who values your work. You need to feel like if things go wrong, you need to have that person, the so-called home I spoke about.
Yeah.
If I make $1 million and I need to plan for it, I can only plan it with a person I trust last.
Yeah.
And that's usually a partner. partner, either husband or wife. Because nowadays you won't even trust family with $1 million.
They're coming for you.
Exactly. You've seen what happens with soccer players. You get it.
Yeah.
You've seen what has happened with several, musicians, actors, and stuff like that. So that means that anytime you're going to make that choice you have to think about the repercussions health-wise, mentally. My choice of having to get married early was to have fear for someone.
Really?
Yeah.
So you felt like it would really actually help you and keep you grounded
100%.
having someone like that?
If I do not think at any one time I would have achieved 30% of who I am today if I did not make the decision to settle with a girlfriend / my wife.
Wow.
Because when she met me, if you had paid me $1,000 by 2 o'clock, by 10 in the night it would be gone.
And it would be gone on what?
Alcohol, clubbing, clothes. Okay, clothes fine, but it was all alcohol and women. So when I got my wife, she was like, "You're renting?" I'm like, actually, I wasn't even renting. I was staying with my sister. Very comfortable. Big house. Very happy guy.
You were happy.
And she's like, "Moses, I think we can go and rent somewhere because now you make a lot of money. Why do you say you don't have money?" I said, "I haven't started making money." She's like, "No, this money is a lot." I'm like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah, this money is what rents. We can rent. We can start a good life." I'm like, "Sure. Okay, now if I make the money, I'm going to be giving you 50%, and then you start planning those things."
Love that.
In less than 6 months, we got a house. In less than 3 months, the house was full of everything. I'm like, oh.
She built the home.
You get it?
Yeah.
So what I was scared mostly about was the fact that I grew up with a single mother, and she was always good to me. So I don't know what it means to say no to me.
Oh, wow.
Because she never said no. And there was no man in the house. So I fear nobody. Apart from Allah. But in my normal life, you cannot intimidate Bebe Cool. So I said, but I can't live like that. I need to have somebody who shakes me up. Somebody who's going to ask me, "Where are you coming from? Why? You can't do that. Who is that you're talking to?" Somebody to check me, because that was to shape me discipline-wise.
Man.
And I spoke about it with her from the start.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell her you'd be that. But just normally, things just kept on happening. You know what? I've been drinking too much this week. I can't. I'm seeing my wife is not happy. Then you're torn down.
Okay.
You get it? So you can see that at a later stage, mentally, it kept on building my strength. But you imagine, I know friends. I know other artists who are now on the opposite of exactly what I'm talking about. And the reason is they never got partners. They never feared nobody. And nobody told them anything. So they just kept on the lane.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, even right now, with what is happening today, it's too late. It's too late, and they're suffering because they're single. And then you get into this house that you build, and then you're tired. The hospital, the doctors are telling you can't do alcohol. Now, if you can't do alcohol, you're trying to find drugs that you can, so that it can take you away and be able to sleep. Now you're seeing your friends are having families. They're not as famous as you. They're not as rich as you, but they have what you don't have, which is family.
Wow.
So the issue of mental health is a journey that most people must understand to make decisions for as early as possible.
Yeah.
Small moves that can protect your head. Having a child, you may not have money, you may not have a job, but if your intention of having the child is to have family. You not seeing the child as a mistake to having allowed your boyfriend to make you pregnant. I believe later on you'll see the importance of just the smile between that child and you, with money or with no money.
Wow. I literally could just say that's a wrap, but we got to carry on talking about the music. I have to say, I am very pleasantly surprised. Not that I didn't expect this from you, but sometimes when you're speaking with artists, sometimes, especially people who've been in the industry for a while, it's just about the game. It's about the music. It's about, the scene and staying relevant, staying cool. But to have an artist like yourself who's been recognized globally and have this perspective on marriage, mental health is very refreshing.
Thank you.
But we do have to go back to the recognitions, to the awards, to the music, because your partnership has clearly paid off. You've literally won like over 20 awards. What does recognition really mean to you? You've done so much. You've been, like you mentioned earlier, you were up against some really well-known artists for the Mobile Awards, very distinguished awards. So what does it mean? What did recognition mean to you back then? What does recognition mean to you now?
Back then, definitely, I would say it was like heavenly, because in a developing country, you have to look at it differently. First-class countries, Europe, the US. I mean, recognition for anybody within there is like, okay, the doors have been opened for me. I've been accepted. But it's different with recognition in Africa when you're coming from a third world country. You hear talking about acceptance in ignorant people. Remember, most people do not understand the meaning of the word ignorant. Ignorance is when you don't know things. Now, you're being accepted in a community that has no single idea why they are accepting you. Okay? It's different. I mean, music is not just a voice. Some songs are nominated and accepted because of sounds, because of lyrics, meanings, or because of execution of a voice, differently. So when you go back to where I was living, to me, it meant a lot for my country, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, Uganda in the Mobile Awards. I mean, that's great. That's big. That's number one. Then number two, I'm the one who's taking the flag. You get it? Then third, of course, I'm good. I've finally shown my competitors that I'm better than them. Because once you're recognized amongst all others, then it gives you that feeling that at that moment, you're better than the rest. You get it? So for me, it was always mainly about my country being the guy moving the flag.
And you've moved the flag quite significantly.
True that.
You have collaborated with so many different top-tier artists.
Yep.
What do you look for in a collaboration?
Expansion, intermarriage in culture, and to me, I like to work with artists because I want my audience in Uganda or in East Africa to get to hear those sounds that they don't have, that they have not had. Because, you get bored with music if you keep listening to the same, sounds, genres. So if I collaborated with an Indian artist or a Japanese artist, that could be quite something that people would want to listen out to. So collaboration to me is as important as, cultural exchanges. And then, of course, I need to have the numbers. I mean, if you've got the numbers, if I'm looking for Wizkid or Davido or Bana, I also want the numbers that they have. So you collaborate to also share the numbers. Most especially today, the world has gone to streams and stuff like that. So that's how important it is for me.
So with those collaborations, of course, you're moving and evolving and putting Ugandan music on the map, regardless of what genre, what language you guys are singing.
Exactly.
How do you see Ugandan music evolving?
Well, Uganda is a very dynamic country.
Yeah.
You know, it's the youngest country in the world. So you can see that with young people, they are innovative. They are thinking all the time. Though we've got a problem of resisting with what we know, lack of exposure is the only thing that is still blocking the Ugandan talents from exploding globally, because they fear, like our artists fear to challenge themselves with new sounds that the audience does not know. So they're like, if I do this song, like I've done this Break the Chains album, I've seen so many discussing and they're saying, oh, that's not our sound, that's Nigerian sound. But excuse me, I'm trying to tell you, you need the globe has accepted the Afrobeat.
Yeah.
Now, you still want to sell within the border. And actually we have a problem because we have different tribes. Some of these songs don't work for all the tribes.
Oh, that's yet another
block.
Yeah, another block. Yeah.
So now, you as an individual artist, a Ugandan artist or an East African artist, you're looking at Bana selling an Afrobeat globally, a genre called Afrobeat.
Mm-hmm.
And you're stuck to what sells within your region in your own country that doesn't even cross to another region. That's now breaking the mindset. Actually, break the chains means mindset change, because it's abnormal. If you can't see that, you need numbers, you need a wider space. You get it?
Yeah. So with keeping that in mind, then what's next for Bebe Cool?
What comes in my next program is, of course, to keep motivating the African artists, of course, to jump onto the issue of albums, making more albums now, to get away from the singles, because for so long African artists have been relying on singles. The singles are now gone because the world is all about content.
Yeah.
We're here making content.
Yeah.
Now, you imagine I outed the Break the Chains album, 16 songs. That means I can have 16 videos. That means I can have 16 BTSs.
You can have 16
that means out
dance
of
challenges. So much going
on. That means I can have a lot of content for the next 2 years using just an album.
Yeah.
But if you out-sing one single like this, then that means you have one video, one BTS, one challenge or two challenges. Then how are you going to compete with a guy who's always outing things, content on social media? You won't be able to do that. So the dynamics is what I don't understand, why African artists are taking long to jump onto the obvious. So I just want to keep, advocating for that. And I also want to advocate for more, East African issue that we have. I want to see East African artists stop giving Nigeria as an excuse. Oh, Nigerians have numbers. Oh, there's so many. Oh, they're everywhere in the world. It's okay. Now it's not about where they are or the numbers. Now also East Africa has numbers.
Absolutely.
Because we have Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, South Sudan, Congo, Rwanda, Burundi as East Africa.
Yeah.
So those numbers are about 350 million people. And all you need is to have streams from those people. The Nigerian guys, they use their people to stream their music.
Yeah.
Okay. If now any artist from West Africa wants a collaboration, they are also looking for someone who has numbers.
Yeah.
So if you pick up your numbers from East Africa, of course, plus global attention, then these guys will come looking for you. So I'm advocating a lot for my people to quickly jump onto the streaming issue, because, of course, we still have to understand that in East Africa, the internet was still a problem. The governments in our countries are just, trying to avail internet throughout now the countries. As we discuss these things, you must also understand the political landscape, of the different countries. So I'm not just doing music, but I'm also trying to make people understand why things are not happening, but then also forge a way for them to see that it's possible. for things to happen. We also teach, I'm also pushing for government, the Ugandan government, to understand the importance of protecting the works, our works, copyright. We've moved a very good step in Uganda today because to do this music is so expensive.
Yeah.
Extremely. And young people, if they are to invest their money in there, if they are to agree to get into a sector that can employ more young people, they need to be sure that their investment is protected.
That is true.
But also government, to do that, I had to get close to the politics, for them to understand who we are, what is music, what is art, what is drama, because there was a very big gap between the culture, the arts and culture, and the political or governance wing.
How do you gain that influence without political affiliation or party affiliation?
There's no way. You have to affiliate yourself with the ruling government, because the ruling government in any country is in charge of developing all sectors, supporting all the sectors. The doctors are supported. The farmers, agriculture is supported. Education is supported. So there must be support for arts and culture.
Yeah.
You get it? So you, as the arts people, that is including all the 9 domains of the arts, you must affiliate with the offices. So put your vote, they bring in the political issue of, I don't like this, I like that.
It's challenging because some people may be like, no, there are so many sectors within the country that are not being helped, or they may even view their governments as being corrupt, or, or not helping, not really pulling their way, or even, just corruption. Then how, you just have to put that at the back of your mind?
No, you don't put that at the back of your mind. You keep your vote in your hand. When the time comes to vote, you go vote the other person who you feel can do the work. Then, during the time of the 5 years, when that term is on, you must work with the present people in the offices, because it's for the sector, not for just you, the individual.
For you, the individual.
You get it? So for me, and I'm happy finally they've come to understand.
Okay.
Yeah, and Uganda is flowing quite well when it comes to young people knowing the importance of working with government. Government's job is to just give you a few things in line. Good roads, education system, health system, they're not going to come and give you the money. It's you to use that environment to now be creative. The things that we should be demanding for are obvious, the good economy, low taxes, the obvious things that we should be demand. Those are okay. But then put in mind that there's no single government in the world that will be able to employ people, 20% of its people. So that means if you find a sector that can employ 40% of the young people, I'll give you a good number here. Okay. Uganda, 50 million people, but 70% of the 50 million people are below 35.
Yeah, you guys have a really young
population. And you know that what that means? That means below 35, you find only about 20% who are employed. So the 70% of the unemployed young people, you need to develop the sector in which sector does not need education for someone to make money. And that's the arts and culture,
arts and culture.
Sports.
Oh, gosh. You've dropped so many gems. I can't wait to come to Uganda.
Please do.
But I have come to Uganda. I was saying that I should have said this a long time ago, guys. I've been to Uganda.
Oh,
I went to, flew in, of course, to Entebbe. Okay. And then I went to Fort Portal, which I think was amazing because it was a drive.
Okay.
We drove to Fort Portal about 6 hours.
Yes.
Listen, if you're watching, if you're listening, I definitely recommend go and visit Uganda. It is a
most
beautiful country.
Yes.
It is and that was a few years ago. And thank God I was actually filming.
Yes.
I was filming a rather challenging story.
Yes.
We're not going to go into it because we got stuff to do.
Yeah.
But, it was just about the older generation and how a lot of them, some of them, their children died off from AIDS or went into the diaspora or into the city. And now they just are not being taken care of. However, outside of that, I met some incredible people and went to Uganda, and I want to come back.
Uganda has very beautiful people. They're welcoming. The country is safe. So much has been said and done, negative about the country, but it's not true. This is a very beautiful country. I just wish everyone who wanted to retire and be peaceful flew to Uganda.
Go to Uganda, guys. Go to Uganda. All right. So we have to move on to a next segment, which I've been doing. It's a pretty much a staple of this podcast. Okay. Yeah. And I love the interaction between not just you and me, or you and those watching, but definitely you and the guests who are going to come after you.
Okay.
As I told you, Bebe Cool, you are the first guest of the 3rd season, right? Okay. So this means that in this segment, Pass the Mic, you are passing the mic first.
Okay.
I'm going to explain what Pass the Mic is. Okay. It's really simple. You ask a question to the next guest. Oh, so you can take a moment, but essentially what you're doing is passing the mic to the next person who's going to be sitting in that seat.
Okay. What is the most important thing that you would ask from God if God was asking you for just one?
I love that one. I love that because I got a lot of things I'll be asking God, like my list.
I knew that.
How did you know?
I knew that. Because, I feel that question is a very genuine question and a very good one.
Yeah.
Because, at the end of, during your life, there will be certain things, like 98% of all the things you want to ask from God are very useless.
Yeah.
At a certain time, you get to understand. So I'm asking that one thing that now at this level or whatever age our next person would be, they must have noticed that you never ask God for a building or a car or a plane.
I can't wait to hear the answer of the next guest. Now we are to a segment called Trending. If you're new to With Nyasha Michelle podcast, let me tell you what it's all about. It's when I talk to my guests about the viral, hottest topics in their industry. And it can also be about pop culture. It can be about history. It can be whatever it is that is kind of out in the open right now that you guys are talking about. So for you, in this conversation, I love the fact that you've spoken about how you as an artist should really just be going where the numbers are, but also this immersion of different music is important.
Yes.
So let's talk about Afrobeats.
Yep.
And how it's gone global.
Yeah.
Do you believe that it has benefited East African music in any way? And if so, how?
Yeah, I believe definitely it has benefited and it will benefit the East African industry or stroke music, because every time you get challenged, you think better.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, it's a plus 100%, because the East African artist stroke, the East African industry, people had relaxed so much to, feeling and thinking that it's only okay and success is within East Africa. When an artist makes it in Uganda, they are okay, they're happy, they are famous in Uganda, they're making money. If they make it in Kenya or East Africa-wide, they're comfortable. But you see, with the introduction of Afrobeats, you get to see artists who are making it globally. So you wake up in the morning and say, oh, I've been sleeping.
Yeah.
So you have to challenge yourself. And then every time you put yourself into challenges, definitely it's a plus for you. So I'm in London now on a media tour.
True.
If it wasn't for Afrobeat, Bana wouldn't have been there, Wiz or Davido. I wouldn't be even caring. I would be back home. But now here I am, doing a world a media tour. So it's a plus for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I expect everyone to see it as in East Africa.
And let's take it even further, right?
Yeah.
The Grammys have introduced and are beginning to recognize more and more African artists and African genres.
Yes.
Where does East African music land on there? Do you think the time is coming where we will see you guys there?
Yeah, definitely. One thing I know about music, if I put the consideration of how the world is consuming content, it doesn't matter anymore. Anybody can do anything. I mean, I come from Uganda where I've been struggling to push my album, Break the Chains. And then all of a sudden there's a couple of guys from Kasese. Kasese is one of the districts that we have in Uganda. They just started something jokingly. One very young guy did a song, and then it has a part called "Wah, Enewa, Enewa, Wah, Wah, Enewa," and the whole, the whole globe is now dancing to it.
Oh gosh!
So you can see how what I mean when I say that now it won't even matter. You will be in your bedroom and you just drop something, whether you're in Uganda, and you find the biggest awards dancing to Inewa, Inewa.
And you know what I love about him? The fact that he's gone viral whilst dancing with his dad.
Yes.
That support system.
Exactly. So, I mean, it all works for East Africa either way. Yeah.
This one is a very interesting one for me because there's times when people appreciate it. Then there's times when people are like, you need to park it.
Yes.
Sampling.
Okay.
There's been some conversation online, by some people being like, okay, there's been too much overuse of sampling older African sounds. Do you think sampling is something that's just lazy? It's a lazy way an easy way of getting a hit? Or would you say, hey, there's creativity in there? There's different genres, even sometimes different decades of creativity happening.
I personally don't see any danger in sampling as long as it's a new sound that you've created from an old sound.
Yeah.
It sounds better than the old one is okay.
Yeah.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
But you have something new out of it. It's just like a mother giving birth to a daughter. Later on, the mother will definitely she will always be special, beautiful in the eyes, whether she grows old, 80, 90 years, a mother is a mother.
Yeah.
But then we also like to watch, the beautiful daughters grow up, So sampling is still okay. At the same time, the globe is still growing in numbers. So creativity still has its room. I mean, people are creating every sort of, there's this sound in Uganda, it's called kadodi. But I swear if I break global, I'll make sure that I introduce that sound. But the day I ever introduce that sound on stage, I'm very sure the whole world will jump on it. Because it's energetic. Because the world is growing younger. Young people want energetic, sounds and stuff like that.
Sure.
But then it's difficult for Jay-Z to go find it. Because he can't just keep flying everywhere to go find, sounds. And he's not listening to music from everywhere. And I think if it's about creativity, what I would say about that is, unless if you intentionally go out there to Africa, because most of the sounds in Europe and Asia and America, actually it's Europe and America, most of the sounds have been used.
Yeah.
You need to go to Africa and go country to country, find sounds and find, genres that can be interesting. I've just given you one in Uganda called Kadodi.
How does it sound? What's the uniqueness of Kadodi?
What I can do is I'm gonna make sure that I send you one so that you can play it now. Yeah. This is how it sounds. I say this is how it sounds because you're gonna play it now, but I'm gonna send it to you. But this is a very energetic. sound. When they play it, it's a drum. It's a drum, and when they play it, you're forced to only either jump with one leg or jump with another, or basically moving different, different parts of your body, which is one, healthy, two, it shakes your intestines, three, it keeps you strong and jumping. You get it? So for me, I'm okay with sampling because it must move with creativity still, because also sampling is creative. I mean, I did a song, and you can do it even better, which is okay.
I love that. And your explanation isn't just like, don't use it, it means that you're being lazy, or let's do it because, we get inspiration from others. The way you have given the clarity and I guess the justification
People
of it
must appreciate.
Yeah.
It's okay. I've done it up to here. Somebody else can do it up to even better, which is okay.
Listen, after this, I'm going to be listening to some Kadodi music.
Yes.
I'm Zimbabwean, we like to move. We like to shake.
There you go. There you go.
On that note, guys, I am floored. It is now the end of this incredible interview.
Thank you.
I have really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.
I feel like you've dropped a lot of gems, which not just myself, but our audience will appreciate. From my favorite part was definitely the wisdom about marriage, coming from a star who has a wife and being like, hey, you got to think about it in this way. Sometimes music scene doesn't promote love in a healthy way. It promotes fast food love.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So to hear you say that is amazing.
Yeah, but still, ladies are my babies.
Well, this is your time to have a little bit of a message for the ladies or for the gents as well. You can look into this camera and just tell them where they can find you and also where they can listen to your latest music.
Hi, everybody. My name is Bebe Cool from Uganda, East Africa. Africa, of course. I have my new album called Break the Chains. Break the Chains is a 16-track album, and I'd like to ask you to stream it. It's on all the platforms. My socials, of course, at Bebe Cool UG_, but go out there and stream, and let's push some East African music, go global, worldwide. Break the chain. Let's break this chain, everybody, globally. Let's do this for Bebe Cool.
Amazing. You heard it here first. Make sure you go stream that music, and also let's break the chains. Thank you so much for tuning into With Nyasha Michelle. As always, it is a pleasure. Don't forget, you can listen also to this podcast wherever you get your podcast, so you don't always have to watch on YouTube. But it's always good when you get to look online and see our faces. Make sure you follow as well at With Nyasha Michelle on all social media platforms. Comment below what was your favorite moment. That's all for now, guys. Bye.